Butts, 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 butts.
Hello, and welcome to Destructoid's Gaming Butts. I'm your host Laura, UK editor at Destructoid. I'm here this week with Joe Parlock.
Hello, everybody.
Joe's here, he's going to talk butts with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we haven't done this in a while, we're going to talk some butts. What kind of butts are we talking today, Joe?
We are talking about Bloodborne butts.
Bloodborne butts. Buttborne.
Or Buttborne. Blood
Yeah.
butts sounds a bit gross, so let's go.
Blood butt sounds a bit gross. Buttborne seems a bit like closer to the themes of the game, because the game seems to be about like, it's all about like childbirth and stuff. I don't, children aren't really born from butts, but you know, it's close enough.
Well, I mean, that's probably what they thought in Victorian times.
Yeah,
so.
it's like, yeah, it's close enough, it's a lady butt. Anyway, that's a weird way to start the show. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Bloodborne butts, Buttborne, blood butts, whatever that is. So, best place to start with Bloodborne butts, I think, is there is one butt that for me defines Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And it is the very first butt of Bloodborne, before you've even put the disc in. This is the very first butt you can access with a copy of Bloodborne. This is the very first butt that you can access with a copy of Bloodborne, and it is the disc butt.
I just like that of just put the main theme of the game right there on the disc.
Oh, exactly. Like, there's all these people that have theories about how this is a game about childbirth. No, this is a game about butts, and we're going to explain to you how that's the case over the next half an hour. And the first bit of evidence you have is the character is facing away on the disc with their butt in the right place, that there's a hole where their butt should be, and you put two fingers behind the hole in the disc, and he's got an exposed butt. And it's not every game you can do that with. Bloodborne, it's hidden symbolism everywhere in this game.
Yeah.
What's the best way to do that? Just hide butts in plain sight.
I mean, it's like, sure, the rest of the game has got eldritch horrors and skeletons abound, but it is nice, before you delve into that dark, terrifying world, to have a nice fleshy butt going on.
A little bit of levity, isn't it? It's a little bit of like something comforting, something human and relatable. Before, because the general theme I get from Bloodborne, and we will dig into this as we go, but the more terrifying an eldritch a creature is, the less of a butt it has. Or the less of a traditional human butt. And this is like your welcome safe space entry, where it's like, okay, we're going to lull you into a false sense of security. You see that? That's a human butt. You know what those butts are like. That's a butt you understand.
You've got one of them.
Yeah, you've got one of them. Don't worry. It's not like by the time you're 8 hours into this game, nothing's going to have a discernible butt anymore.
Well, I mean, it's like Dark Souls had the bonfires, whereas Bloodborne is just, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by it, you just pop out the disc, shove your fingers in the middle, and you know you're safe.
Yes, it's, oh my god, this game is terrifying me. Oh, it's okay. Haha, there's a butt.
There's a booty right there.
That is just like that comforting core of this game that you can always return to is the disc has a butt slot.
And I've got to say, that person's finger butt in the picture is rather a nice A+ butt as well.
I didn't think to review their particular finger butt, because we've got an image that we're gonna have up while we talk about this. So let me look at the specific finger butt we're talking about. Goodness, I'm such a terrible finger butt reviewer.
You're doing all this off memory.
That's a pretty decent finger butt. I will give them that. My complaint about this particular finger butt is they've not moved the fingers quite far enough up the butt, because there's a bit of a gap at the top. You can see where there's a gap and it's not quite full. What you really need is those two fingers to be the whole way up, so that you just get the butt.
Well, I just like to imagine that it's like a swimming costume or Speedos, and that little dark bit at the top is just the little wedgie going on. Okay,
I can actually buy into that. You know, you've sold me there. This is your Bloodborne hero, who in all of the advertising is this big macho manly man who's going to slice everything up, wearing his thong and exposing his butt.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, even as terrifying as he looks on that disc, It's okay, because underneath he's just wearing a thong and he's got a butt like yours.
Yeah, he's just like the rest of us. He's just wearing his thong, and I can respect that.
Yeah, like, it's not, looking at this butt, it's not a perfect butt. It's a little bit lopsided. It's a very human, very relatable butt.
Yeah, it's like, if
This
it
is-
was too perfect, you wouldn't be able to connect with it.
This is not the butt of an Adonis. This is the butt of the everyman.
Yeah, exactly. It's a butt of the
You
people.
can achieve a butt like that.
Yeah, well, I think I've probably got a butt like that if I squeeze hard enough.
Exactly, and maybe you could be the Bloodborne. Is that what the hunter? Yeah,
Yeah.
you can be the Bloodborne.
Yeah, it's just good job from. They've really guided us into this world.
Yeah, that's a very gentle, if a little bit tight opening to this wonderful world.
Yeah.
So where do we want to go from there? Do you have a particular butt once we actually start the game up that you want to talk about first?
Do you want to talk about the butt which is vital to destroying the pig?
Okay, let's talk about pig butts.
Let's talk about pig butts.
So yeah, anyone that's played Bloodborne, there's giant, huge fucking pigs that are very fast and very heavy and very strong, and they will charge at you head first. And Joe, do you want to talk about why the butt's important?
Well, the way you do a lot of damage to the pig is you put your hand up their butt.
With a sword, you're not
Yeah.
just putting your hand up there, you're putting a blade up its butt.
Yeah, it's just, you just dig it right in between the cheeks and the pig dies.
Yeah, like you look at images of this and footage, and it is very much like, yep, you are fisting him up the arse with a sword.
It is a bit of a James Herriot moment, really.
Yeah, it's. Should we talk about the butt itself outside of its purpose, because
It looks a bit sore.
it's a very leathery butt.
Yeah.
It looks like it has a weird mix of like fat and muscle and excess skin and leather.
It's an okay butt.
It's it's a butt that's fit for purpose. There's enough, like, it seems like it's the right kind of consistency of material and density that you could hold onto it with one hand to pull while you jab your other arm up its arse.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't do that with a firm, perky arse. It's only because it's got a slightly too much skin, leathery pig arse that you can sort of grab on and really get a good push going with your blade.
Yeah, you need those flaps to get a bit of leverage, and you can't do that on an Adonis arse. And I think that might be a bit of the pig's downfall, a bit. Like, maybe if he worked on his butt a bit, he might not be dying so much.
Yeah, I suspect it would be a little bit more difficult to, make use of his asshole-shaped weak point if he didn't have such a good, like, grip to hold on to.
Yeah.
If he took a little bit more care about his appearance. Like, he can't do anything about the leathery texture, but, Actually, you know what I'm kind of sad about thinking about now? What if the reason he's got a bit of excess skin on his ass is because he was trying really hard to lose some weight?
Oh.
This is a pig that lost a lot of weight very quickly, trying to be in better shape, and that's what gave him the excess skin that the hunter is able to use to grab on and shove that knife up his arse.
Oh, I kind of don't like the hunter now. Like,
Yeah.
He had a nice butt, but he doesn't respect other people's butts, and I don't think that's particularly fair.
Oh yeah. Goodness.
I have to say though, in the second picture of the pig butt I sent you, he does look red raw, and it looks incredibly uncomfortable. I'm
looking up the other pig butt. Yeah, that is a raw anus. That has
got to hurt.
Yeah, why is it so red? Is that from hunters trying to stab it in the arse, or
God, just needs a good dollop of nappy cream and it'll be fine.
Goodness, it looks like he's got tiny short legs. It looks like part of his arse has possibly been dragging along the rough hard ground as he walks.
Oh.
Like that is an arse that's taken some abuse, and I feel really bad for the fact that we're taking advantage of that fact to kill it.
Yeah, like I think should I ever get around to playing Bloodborne, I would refuse to use the arse. I would respect his arse, and I would just kill him another way.
Yeah, I think you've got to take him head on, and if you are going to go behind him, you sidestep behind him, and then thrust your arm as if you're going to stab a sword up his arse, and then you just rub some bepanthen or some pseudocreme, and you're just like, see, calm down, you're not so angry at me now, are you, now that your arse isn't quite so painful?
You make friends you don't kill.
Yeah, make friends by soothing his arse.
Yeah, like I think the lesson we can learn from the pig is that not like we could speak about a lot of butts through the course of this. Not every butt's going to be perfect, but all butts are worthy of respect. I think that's the rule here.
Yes, and particularly ones that like clearly are in need of some love. Like that is a butt that could do with a bit of care and attention.
Yeah, a good bit of TLC.
Yeah, so where do we want to go from there on our list of butts?
Okay, so Vicar Amelia.
Okay, Vicar Amelia, yeah.
You're going to have to point out where the butt is on this, because I don't see a goddamn butt at all.
Okay, so Vicar Amelia is basically like a skeleton, antlered deer, human, horse mouth, shark teeth monster thing.
It's Falcor if they've been dead for 3 months.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a better picture so I can show you Vicar Amelia's ass. 1 second.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm not like... Yeah, I can see the antlers, I can see the razor sharp teeth, I ain't seeing a butt.
Okay, so if you look at this picture I've put in, like, this is where you get the problem with Vicar Amelia's butt, is that Vicar Amelia's butt is covered by basically long flowing draping hair. And it is very difficult to get a good look at that arse. There are some images that you can see. This is a creature that has like a very sort of... It's like a wolfish arse if you get glimpses of it. It's sort of an animalistic, lean, sporty butt that is more bone than it is fat, I think.
Yeah, but I think what Vicar Amelia's got is she knows how to cover up just enough to make you interested. Like, we've put a lot of effort into finding a picture of her butt, and I think that is rather impressive.
Yeah, well, I can only assume that this is like that all the material's just floaty enough that you get little glimpses without ever getting a good look, and I think that is in some ways part of the character's design. This is a character that you ideally want to be fighting from behind. It only uses like the front legs to be swiping at you. If you can get behind it and stay behind it, you can attack, and that's why you want to be getting behind to attack from that butt. But that's very difficult to do when you are too busy trying to see the butt rather than attacking it.
Yeah, I know she's weak against fire and stuff, as far as I know, and it's like no wonder...
Well, you know why it's a weakness against fire? Because the fire could set alight to the hair and you'd be able to see the butt.
Exactly, like, I don't want to see burnt butt hair, so I guess, like, plus for leaving just enough to the imagination, but a negative for having the potentially singed butt hair, which can't smell nice.
Well, that's why I think that's the solution to fighting her, is that you get behind her and you basically light her arse hair like a fuse. You use your flames, you attack the butt, the arse hair singes up, burnt arsehole, monster destroyed.
Yeah, that's because, not the nicest way to go.
I don't think I would be able to survive my arse hair being set alight like a fuse. That was a thing I never thought I'd say as part of a journalistic career. Oh god, I'm a journalist. I've got an intern coming in the summer, and this is what I do.
Oh,
fuck.
Dear, it's just I think she hasn't quite thought it out. I think she could have put a little bit more effort into how she dressed up her ass to prevent that from happening. So
yeah, her attempts to hide her ass have ended up ultimately being her ass's biggest weakness.
Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty when it's not on fire, but once it is on fire, it would go downhill very, very rapidly.
Because it's very hard to find butt images to cite here, but I'm looking for the butt of the doll in Bloodborne.
Oh.
Yes. Who I'm trying to find her walking anywhere where I can find a good butt image.
Oh, she's the creepy one.
Yeah, she's the creepy doll in the sort of the bonnet and the sort of brown cloak. Yes. So she's got a problem that we come across fairly often when doing discussions of butts in video games, which is that she's wearing a very sort of floaty dress. And you get this a lot with, like, the Mario series is a big complainer for this, because big floaty dresses that flare out at the hips and make it very difficult to tell where the sort of form of the butt is. Now, we can tell a little bit about this character's butt from their use of the butt. There is a house nearby where this character stays. The character is always sat on this little brick stone wall when there is a house nearby that has chairs in it, that has things that are designed to be sat on. She always goes and sits out on this stone wall. Now, for me, I think sitting on a stone wall, you're going to get a numb backside very quickly unless you've got a bit of junk in the trunk.
Yeah.
And the fact that she at no point thought, I've got a bit of a numb backside, I'll go sit up in the house for a bit, and she was like, no, I'm fine here, to me suggests she's got a bit of a backside.
Yeah, it's just, like, we're making the assumption here that the reason we can't see her butt is because of her flowy dress and her big explode in the middliness. But what if it's the butt that's propping all that up? What if she's not wearing a corset or anything? What if that is her butt?
What if she doesn't have any framework inside the dress to pop it out? It is just her butt. And
Yeah.
that's where this is the vision I have of this character, is that you look at, like, her face and her arms and her legs, everything's very slender, very dainty. But I think under that dress, she has got a hell of a booty.
Yeah, it's like, Victorians, they weren't the best eaters. Like, they would eat, like, whole gooses and stuff like that. I would assume that all of that goose and whatever else has just gone straight to the backside. And that explains a lot.
Indeed. So, this is a butt that even if we can't see it, we know enough from the world to be able to discern, yeah, she's probably got a bit of a backside. Just a little bit.
CSI Butts edition.
CSI Butts. We're gonna do all the journalism so you don't have to. Let us tell you about some butts.
For things that matter.
Yeah. So what butt's next on our list? What's next on the butt list?
It is Ron the Vacuous Spider.
Oh God! Should I read out the thing? When we were planning this episode, I described this character's butt, and here is the sentence I put in our little pre-Skype chat. Wrong end of the spider, but yeah, it's a big fat fucking spider with a butt full of fucking spiders. Is that a fair way to describe Ron the Vacuous Spider?
There really isn't any other way to discuss spider butt than butt full of fucking spiders.
Yeah. Ron the Vacuous Spider is a huge, disgusting-faced spider that it's... What, am I wrong to say this?
Don't be mean. He's adorable.
He's a huge fucking spider full of other fucking spiders he shoots out his arse.
But he's also got loads of pretty flowers on his butt.
Yeah, but he shits out spiders.
So do I, but you don't judge me.
I'm judging you now that I know you shit out spiders.
But no, the thing I really respect about Ron is that he's managed to cultivate an entire ecosystem in his arse. Spiders live and die in his arse, and there are plants which are growing. And can you do that with your arse? I thought not.
No, I can't.
But I would happily have a little terrarium for a butt.
So yeah, he cultivated an entire ecosystem inside his arse. That is impressive, I will give him that. Just in terms of pure volume, his arse is huge because he's got to fit all the fucking vacuous space for spiders in there. But yeah, like when it comes to arses that I find appealing, the thought of one that if I squeeze it too hard, spiders might fly out of it into my face. That is not the kind of arse that I'm generally excited about.
He's also got lots of little eyes all over it.
Yeah, to be fair, if you had an arse that big, wouldn't you want to be able to see it at all times?
I would like to be able to just admire the landscape I've grown on my arse.
Like, I imagine he's got eyes on the inside of his arse as well, just so he can keep an eye on how all the spiders are doing.
Oh, it's like Spring Watch.
Spring Watch of spiders inside an arsehole of a bigger spider.
Yeah, like...
I don't want to watch your version of Spring Watch.
Yeah.
Yours is not an appealing version of Spring Watch.
And we're leaving the water voles now to go look at Ron the Vacuous Spider's fucking huge butt.
Oh, we're off to go see all of the fucking shit-covered spiders inside Ron's fucking arsehole.
And now we're off to look at some wrens.
Some wrens.
Yeah, approve of Rom's butt. I don't care what anybody else says. I think, yeah, it's not the most appealing to look at, but it's got function. It's function over form.
It doesn't work for me, but I'm sure that all of those spiders living inside his arsehole probably appreciate the existence of his vacuous arse.
I mean, look at, like, if they just went out of his butt and didn't have anywhere else to go, they would drown. So, I think they would more than approve of living inside a giant spider's arsehole. Like,
I suppose. That's alright then. Okay, so we can talk about some blood-starved beast butt then. So, yeah, that is a fucking thing with flesh dripping off its bones and the flesh is turning gangrenous and black. That being said, nice arse.
Yeah, it's a little bit angular for my tastes. It's a bit pointy.
He's very sort of like bony and rib-like until you get to the arse, and then out of nowhere it kind of just like pops out at a weird angle.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a squashed oval between his torso and his legs, but you know, of all of the weird skeletal creatures in this series, at least this one has some butt.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't need a torso because I think it's dead, or if it's not dead, I sure hope it is soon. So it just channels all of that flesh into the booty, and I think at least one thing in this godforsaken game has its priorities straight.
Yeah, it's like, hey, if we can design this creature with only so much flesh on its bones, you know where we're going to put it.
Yeah, because, I mean, look at its legs. It needs all that meat up by the bum to use them legs.
Well, to be fair, it could probably do with a bit more meat on its legs looking at them. It's like, that's legs that aren't going to take a beating.
They're chicken
and
legs.
Because of the height that the butt's at, like, that's not going to protect it in any way from being attacked by a hunter. But it understands that there is an aesthetic value that needs to be maintained. Like, it's not all about functionality. Sometimes you just need to focus on form.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to die, you may as well die in style and with a nice ass.
Yeah, so of all the things with, like, flesh dripping off their bones in this world, that's the closest to having a good butt.
Yeah,
and it's not a bad butt.
I don't think I would approve anywhere else, but considering how little choice we've got in Bloodborne, yeah.
In that world, I would settle for that butt.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know what? Do I have to kill you because, you know, you've got a nice butt and there's very little in the way of pickings. Like, I don't fancy shoving a blade up a pig's arse right now. I
Not
don't
today.
fancy a spider-filled arsehole. You know, just a general kind of humanish arse. You know, it might be black, the skin might be peeling off it a bit, but
Yeah,
it looks vaguely like home.
Yeah, it's a very, very rough, seedy pub on a desert island. Like, you don't particularly want to go in there, but compared to dying outside, it's better.
Is that the only other option we have, dying outside?
Yeah, you either die outside or you die inside. That's the choice.
Well, let's see, the good comparison point for this is the Dark Beast Parl.
I love Dark Beast Parl.
Dark Beast Parl is like the opposite direction, where he's decided that the aesthetic is completely unnecessary, and I think he's the first butt we've ever talked about on Destructoid that has physically no bone on it. It is just a skeleton butt.
Yeah.
With like lightning hair coming off of it.
Yeah, I mean, first off, its hair is fucking amazing. I mean, it may be bones and thorns and stuff, but it looks cool as hell.
I wish my arse had black hair that had lightning blue electron neo streaks coming out of it all over it. I wouldn't mind having a hairy arse if it was that kind of hairy arse.
Yeah, I mean, if I can like hotwire a car with my arse electricity, then win-win.
So yeah, this is a creature that just I'm trying to discern from its hip bones what kind of butt it would have or would have had when it was still alive. It would have been a very wide arse.
Yeah.
Because, like, you look, the center of it is just like a spinal column, and then just out of nowhere, like, there's no rib cage or anything, and then it just whoosh, out comes this huge set of hips.
Yeah. It's like that you need a pelvis that size to support a great big ass.
Like, you just drape some peach material over that, and it would look like the beginnings of a great butt.
Yeah, just like a couple of helium balloons just to give it that depth, and we could rebuild the Dark Beast Pearl's ass.
There is an arse here. We can rebuild it. We have the technology.
Yeah, it's just getting close to it without it killing us would be the tricky thing.
Well, just if we explain to it calmly, like, hey, not gonna kill you. Just want to put this, like, these peach-covered balloons, nestle them nicely in here. Maybe do a bit of duct tape. Don't you feel better now?
Yeah, like don't you feel happier with yourself? I mean, yeah, it may get in the way of the electricity and all. Yeah, they may burst and make you jump or something. But for the moment, just live in the moment and just accept your peach balloons as your arse.
Yeah.
But one thing that the main reason I like Dark Beast Pearl, of course, Parlock. I like that. Second, he is called a mad as fuck wank beast, and I love that.
Is that in canon? He's a mad as fuck wank beast?
As far as I'm aware, that was in an interview with someone from Software. Like, there's pictures going around on Twitter of a magazine article which they call it the mad as fuck wank beast, and it's like I can relate to that. So
you can relate to mad as fuck wank beasts.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you, Joe?
Says the one who started a podcast about butts.
Hey, that was Twitter's idea.
So you found me on Twitter, so...
Yeah. Just give me 1 second. I am just looking through the bosses of Bloodborne to see if there's one more we can talk about. Are you looking up the Celestial Emissary?
Oh god, I just saw that.
Yeah, like, I've yet to find a good image of its butt, but you can see it from the front and get a general impression of it. So yeah, this is the last boss we're going to talk about, the Celestial Emissary, which is basically like a long-armed, huge-handed old man with a giant blue brain on its head that's waist looks like it's like a human nappy.
It looks like a mushroom.
It's weird. I don't quite know what to make of this thing.
Cute.
It looks like it has like a dozen layers of underwear just layered around its waist.
Yeah, it's like, you know those world record attempts, like most t-shirts worn at once?
Yeah, this is most layers of underpants worn at once.
Yeah.
Most pairs of Y-fronts worn at one time.
Which I suppose has to be like the wedgie of a lifetime when you get down to the middle.
Possibly, but like looking at him, he's got a bit of a butt, but it's all very like, it doesn't have cheeks. It's just like, again, it's like someone's wearing multiple layers of underwear. You start losing the definition of where like the cheeks meet in the middle, and it just becomes a flat surface across.
I think you could probably judge it by the glowing blue, which you can see just over the crotch. I think if that's his butt emanating out from the underwear, then not the best, but we've seen worse.
Yeah, like I'm a bit confused by why it's such a flat nothing butt. Like, there is no crease, and that disappoints me. Because, like, you've got the waist, you've got the hips, you've got the material there. Just make a little crease. Just make a little crease, and you'd be a million miles better.
Yeah, it is. It's like they've airbrushed the butt out.
Yeah, and that's a shame, because, again, this is the one creature in Bloodborne that has enough meat on its bones that it could have had such a great arse, and it just fell short, and that is a real shame.
Yeah, I think this is. I have a feeling that the Celestial Emissary is ashamed of their butt because they're wearing all of this underwear to hide it, and then even then, once you've looked past that, it's airbrushed up. So it's a bit of a sad story of someone who just cannot accept their bum.
Oh,
it's just
poor baby.
Yeah, poor little mushroom baby.
Oh, and with that's probably a good place to wrap up for this week. So thank you very much, Joe, for joining me. It's been lovely to have you this week.
Thank you very much.
If people want to hear more of what you do and see more things you do, where can they find those?
You can find me on Destructoid in the mornings doing news for the UK people stuff. I'm also over at indiehaven.com, and I'm on Twitter at Joe Parlock.
Wonderful. And you can find me on Destructoid Monday to Friday mornings, being UK editor in the UK mornings. Woo! You can also find me on Twitter at Laura K. Buzz. So thank you very much, and we will have another episode of Destructoid Gaming Butts for you again next week. Bye.
Bye.